Hey my friend, this is Joey from Joey's Tech, and in this video you are going to learn about the yield keyword in Python. You are going to learn a number of things you need to know about the yield keyword, and you are going to learn them through a program which I am going to code in this video. I'll head to PyCharm now where I'll begin coding this program. I highly recommend you follow along with me because that way you will understand this concept of yield keyword in Python better. This is my PyCharm IDE. If you don't have one installed on your machine, then do watch the video visible in the I button. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel Joey's Tech yet, then do subscribe and hit the bell icon, as that way you will not miss out on watching my videos and you won't stop growing in Python. Now let's start understanding the yield keyword in Python. Let's start with writing a simple program first, which contains a simple function. So I'll write the def keyword and then I'm going to name this function as my function, and it's not going to accept any parameter. Within its body, I'm going to simply write two return statements. So the first one is going to return 1 and the second one is going to return 2. Now I'm going to write the main function. So I'll type the main keyword, PyCharm writes the main function for me, and then I am going to simply print the value returned by this my function twice. So I'm going to write print my function, and in the next line again I'm going to write print, within brackets I'm going to write my function. You can see that I have written two return statements, one after another. If I run this program now, I am simply going to get 1 as the output displayed twice because this first return statement is returning 1 and the function execution is going to stop after the first return statement. So let's run this program and check if we are right with our thinking or not. There you go. 1 is being displayed twice as expected. The function execution is not reaching the second return statement as expected, because when the first return statement is encountered, that's it. The my function stops. Let's now replace this return keyword with a yield keyword. So I'm going to write yield 1 and then I'm going to write yield 2. I'm going to run this program again now and we'll see the output. So let me click the play button. Check over here. It is returning a generator object. I must say two generator objects because I have printed my function twice in my code. Generators are special functions that need to be iterated to get the values. In simple terms, if I say the yield keyword returns a sequence of values back by maintaining the state of the local variable or the values which the yield keyword is returning, 1 and 2 in this case. Since a sequence of values is returned, we'll have to iterate over the function. So for that, we will write for I in my function because we are iterating over it. Hence, we are using a for loop and simply will print I. And I'm going to comment out these two lines of code. Let's run it now and see the output. Check over here. In the first iteration, the function returned 1, and in the second iteration, the function, my function, returned 2. See the magic. When we had a return statement, calling the functions twice returned the same value 1. But when we use the yield keyword within the body of this my function, and the moment it is encountered for the first time, the function execution stops over here and the value is returned and it is being displayed on the console. But the point to note over here is that Python maintains enough state to let the function, in our case this my function, resume in the next iteration right from the next line of the last yield keyword. So in the first iteration, the function suspended over here returned the value 1, and in the next iteration it resumed from the line immediately after the line of code with the first yield keyword. So in the first iteration, the function suspended over here returned the value 1, And in the next iteration, it resumed from the line immediately after the line of code where the yield keyword was encountered for the first time. This line of code is again a line containing the yield keyword, so 2 is returned. This is what the yield keyword basically does in Python. Now in a way you can see that it is a way of returning multiple values from a function. It's returning multiple values, isn't it? 1 and 2. Also, in relation to returning multiple values, when we have to calculate multiple values over time, the yield keyword also saves time and effort of stuffing them in a list or tuple and returning it once. So what I'm saying, rather than stuffing 1 and 2 inside a list and returning that list at once, we are returning them one after another. So in such use cases, yield keyword has use. And this prevents saving the entire sequence in memory. Finally, you should know that when yield keyword is present in the body of a function, that function becomes a generator function, which I'll cover in the next video. With this, we have come to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Do subscribe to Joey's Tech if you want to grow in Python. And only for this video, goodbye and take very good care of yourself.